Mm-hmm.
I've got Barbara Bogan. She runs Comerchant, which is a software that helps you list from Amazon to Walmart and Jet. Okay, and then she's got a totally new software called EZKey, which we're going to talk about a little bit. I thought the idea was really, really fascinating. So I've been testing it out, and we're going to kind of chat about it, what it does, what it can do, and then of course answer any questions like that.
Perfect. Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely, thanks for being here. Do you want to tell us a little bit about how you got started? I kind of want to break the ice a little bit with everybody before we
Um,
get into the meat.
yeah. So I was a corporate employee. I ran a finance department, financial planning, budgeting. Worked 80 hours a week, and at some point I had like, oh, I gotta get out of here. And I'm like, am I gonna open a Dunkin' Donuts? I'm gonna have a spare $500,000 to throw at it. And that's like a full stop. I need something to transition. So I remember one year I was buying my kids' toys. I had just gotten rid of a whole bunch of them, and I saw sell yours. And I was like, sell my what? What do I have? And I'm like, well, I have used stuff. I have stuff around, they always say start with stuff around the house. So I started selling my kids' toys, and I was like, okay, that seems to be working. Then I said, I'm going to go to every thrift store and rummage sale, and that seemed to be working. Those were huge margins. They didn't really scale enough to replace my New Jersey income. But then RA and OA came along, and then we moved to wholesale, and that's pretty much what it is. And about 6 years ago, we went full time, or I went full time. Yeah, it's been great.
I'm getting into feedback. Guys, I'm going to work on the feedback thing, but Buzz, I would imagine it's coming from my end with some new software this evening, so if you're there with us, if I have to, I will clean up the recording and make sure everybody gets it. But yeah, this is doing that. For those of you on YouTube, if you smash that like button, hit subscribe, it helps us out a little. I really appreciate it. And then of course, make sure you bring your questions. And I think, Brian, you want to, you have a kind of an overview of what EZP does, and then I've got
Mhm.
my own example I want to share that I see.
Cool. All right. Yeah, let me, so you're going to mute, right? And I'll go put that up. Let's see, share screen. This is my technology challenge. Now, I can see you, but I can't see my screen. Can you see that?
I got you. I can see the screen there.
Okay. So I won't make it big for I'll just leave it on the preview. Like I said, I escaped the corporate world. We sell on a whole bunch of different platforms, which is why we started building Walmart and Jet through co-merchant. 5 years ago, I was suspended in the great robo suspension of 2014. Basically, Amazon said I was selling counterfeit soap, but which I wasn't, of course, but it kind of was like the best thing, I'm knocking on wood, best thing that ever happened, because it led to me looking at what I was doing, and was I being efficient, and was I scaling this, and was I being, sitting on my laurels, whatever. And I needed to sort of I think we had 15 shoppers at the time going across the whole state of New Jersey, Pennsylvania, New York. And I think it was too chaotic. And I said, you know what, I'm still going to do it, but I'm going to do it on a smaller scale. I'm going to start taking some of the noise out. So we moved to wholesale. Since then, we've gone to white label. We've done private label. I'm like the queen of diversification. We also do account management and manage some manufacturers' accounts that want to sell on Amazon, but they're just kind of terrified of it. And some consulting. And then, of course, the software, because that was something and a lot of the software comes, we call it my bitchin' and moanin' tool, because I'm complaining. My background's in finance and a little product dev, but my business partner, Brian, who also worked with me in corporate America and escaped, is IT. So I can come up with the ideas and complain about like, oh, this doesn't work. And he can say, hey, we can make that. We can try that. So, as I started doing all these different things, it started informing me about a lot of stuff. So one of the things that was really cool is private label. We started doing that, and I realized that the more time I put into my private label, the more it would sell. And the same with the branded custom. We'll go to a manufacturer and ask them to make us something under their brand. You might have thousands of units. You get really smart when you have a lot of money sitting there not doing anything. And I learned how to optimize. I learned how to do great images. I learned how to do everything for PL. And what I found, this is when you keyword your listing, you come up in more searches. It's not rocket science. It's not like it came, like, oh, wow, it's Nirvana or anything like that. But the reality is the more people the more opportunities you have to be seen in a search process by a customer, the more chance you have to sell something. And I was really excited about that because that's something that we used in private label. And I started thinking about, okay, I'm going to do this in my wholesale business, in that channel. I'm going to do it an RA. I'm going to do an OA. I just have to figure a process. So I'm going to give you an example of how impactful adding keywords is before I get into the process. So if you have shower gel, if that's all you have is a shower gel, you go into TJ Maxx and you buy something and it's a shower gel and the listing says shower gel 16 ounces, you'll show up in about 9,500 searches. Not your specific product, but that'll be the sphere of opportunity. If you just add the word body wash as a whole word, and that's the power of just getting a few more words in there that are relevant to your product. So I was like, all right, that's huge. And I was doing like Google search and Amazon Complete to find all these things for our products, our RA and OA. And then I discovered Helium-10. Oh, this is going to be great. It's going to save me so much time because it's like, I don't know if you're familiar with Helium-10, but it's a bunch of components, right? You do this search and you get keywords. Then you take the keywords and you reverse search some ASINs. You do a search and you get ASINs. Then you reverse keyword the ASINs and you get a bunch of words. And you might get like 500,000 keywords. Then you import, it's a nice little efficiency tool. So it's like, all right, this is a lot easier. Still took too long to do. We were going to optimize everything. It took too long. So then we said we're just going to do the back-end search terms because I don't have to open up a case with Amazon. I don't have to embed them. I don't have to go find the manufacturer's website or any of that. And that worked for a little while. And then I got my VA to do it, but we still weren't going fast enough. We have maybe like 20, things I would characterize as private label. We have hundreds of wholesale and RA and OA products, and so I sat there one day and I said, at this rate, if I can devote 2 people full time, we might optimize them in a year from now. That is not acceptable. So and I'll show you the process. So find and gather, remove the common words, deduplicate. You have to get rid of brand names. And then you got to take all this information, and we were looking at at least 3 competitive listings by hand, and it was just taking an hour to 2 hours. If we shortcut it, I could get it down to like some half-assed thing. And then the real issue is rinse and repeat 1,000 times. And I knew every time I did it, it was impactful, and I would sell the product. But how was I going to do this over thousands of listings? And when I started thinking about it, I'm like, what do I do when they don't sell? I bring it back, I put it on eBay, or I leave it until I can send it again and hope it sells, or I start taking discounts. One of our customers, what she does is after 30 days, 10% off. After 60 days, 30% off. So she basically just tries to lose money fast enough to get rid of the products. Mm-hmm. And then, that's how she gets rid of it. And ultimately, she just destroys it or she donates it. And she's adding 500 listings a week. So if you start doing the math, it's ridiculous. So I was very frustrated. I was telling Brian, he heads up the IT. I said, here's the problem. Could you make me like a macro or something? He goes, we have the API right into Amazon. We can connect it all together. Just tell me what it looks like. Explain to me how you would design it if you could do whatever you wanted. So I said, the first thing we do when we do this is take out me. I don't want me or any of this. I want as little human activity as possible, because this is next to doing PPC analyzing campaigns, this is probably the most tedious thing I do. That's probably a little bit more tedious, like looking at keywords and stuff like in PPC. Yeah. But this is hugely tedious, and I hate it. Is this a way we can do it, and can we make it work? So we basically designed EZKey to import. I said, I don't want to cut and paste either, because that's the lag time on Amazon is ridiculous. So basically what we did, and I'll show you a screenshot in a second, but basically what we did is we hooked into your Amazon account, and you know this because you've been using it. Bring all your listings in. You can click all of them. You can click some of them. You can say, I only want to do, you know, this set, or I only want to do the Kate Spade, or I only want to do Vera Bradley, or whatever you may do. And then you hit a button, and it goes, and what EZKey does is it goes out and gathers information from the competitors, gets rid of any duplication, gets rid of brand names. That's not going to get every brand name. We've got thousands of names programmed, and we're going to be adding a little tool in there that you can nominate additional ones to get rid of. But I mean, it's taking it's like the 80-20 rule. It's taking most of it out. Then it looks at your listing and says, hey, you got shower gel, but you missed body wash. If you put body wash in, you're going to get more relevant. Then once you get the results back, you look at it again, say, I generally just give it a quick overview, just a quick like review, and then I click everything and send it to Amazon myself for my account. But you can get, I know a couple of our customers use that as a tool. They'll go in and they'll use that, and they've got another maybe they've got Merchant Words or Helium 10 on another screen, and they're using that, and they're using it just as an efficiency tool. So you can use it a couple different ways. But what we found out really quickly is that by doing this, and we made it really it had to be inexpensive too. It couldn't be like, you know, $1 a listing. We learned in, you know, in beta, we were trying different price points. So it was like, it's got to be painless, it's got to be easy, and it's got to be cheap. So, but what we learned is that as people started using it, they tried it in different ways. One of our private label sellers used it on her account, and they went from selling 6 to 8 units to 30 to 35 units a day.
Oh, wow.
Because they had just, when you're looking at a listing as a human being and not looking at it analytically, you're looking at it like, well, this is a great olive oil, and this is great for salads. But you're not thinking that it's also an ingredient, maybe, I don't know what else you would use olive oil for, but maybe it's a great ingredient for moisturizer or for some kind of skin, you know, whatever. That's a bad example. But, and that's why when you're looking at with your perspective, you're not going to get, the competitors are going to be looking at it differently. And if you can gather what the way that they're approaching it, it's huge. Just to have, you know, some people just use it on all their slow moving stuff. But literally, I take the whole process. I do all my SKUs every other week, and I do every week all the new stuff that I add and make sure that those are keyworded. And then I just do this sort of process constantly. It's sort of like when I read, because what happens after you do it the first time is that you go from shower gel to body wash. But then body wash starts looking at a whole different level and ranks you against another set of competitors. You've like almost like went from the minor leagues to the major leagues now with your product, that it's getting more valuable and more relevant. And if you have one and it's sold, that's great. But you know, like with wholesale, you might have 20 or 30 of the product in house, and then of course you can reorder and everything. So it's really useful. Anyway, this is example of what the prices are. We give a discount for annual. Several of our customers have done the $29 per month, and then within a couple of weeks, they'll like, just sign me up for annual. I'll be using this and upgrade. So that's good. That's gratifying that people are getting some value out of it. Now I can show you a live demo because this is kind of hard to see, but it's very, very simple to use. And we didn't, you know, we'll put more models and bells and whistles down the road. But for now, we just want to get you what you need quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. That'd be awesome.
So let me see if I can get this to work. Usually when I try to do this, can you see my screen with EZKey?
Sure can.
Oh, good. Okay, cool. So this is when you see if so when you first start, when you come in on the left hand side, you see all your listings, the SKU, the ASIN, how many you have of them. So if you wanted to sort by, you know, I have the most of this or whatever, you could start. Maybe you want to EZKey the stuff you have the most of first. You know, it just depends on how your strategy and your business is. But you would start with this, and you could click 25 to 500. We're actually going to raise that to 1,000 at a time. And let's just say we're going to do 100. You click here. It clicks all of them, or you can do individual, whatever you like. And then you hit generate keywords. And it says, you sure you want to do 100 listings? Yes. Now, this is doing that. We'll see now it's in progress. It's going to take some time to go. We're not going to be able to, we don't have that kind of time to sit here and wait for it.
Right.
We call this get your coffee, get your bagel, check your email, and then you'll start getting returns back in here. But once they're in here, you can go in and double click and look at one and say, okay, this little change purse has added coins, stylish. Okay, that looks good to me. And if I wanted to update it or add or delete anything, I could. And then I might just say, okay, take it, and then I'll submit it to Amazon. It tells me it's doing it. And it takes about, let's see that one. It takes about 15 to 20 minutes to update to Amazon. That's very quick. We just have to wait until they do their batch loads.
Mm-hmm.
Or until they do their updates. So like when you change something in Amazon, usually says it can take up to 24 to 48 hours, or it says you have to wait 15 minutes for your changes.
Oh yeah.
So that's pretty, we're kind of reliant on them to do that, but it's pretty quick.
Not as fast as a repricer, I would imagine, but pretty fast. I noticed a difference, or I noticed they were uploaded, because you can check your reports to see that they were processed, right?
Yeah, so here you can see that it says submitted to Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
If I were to go open my Amazon account and look at this and look in Seller Central, I would see it in the back end search terms.
Perfect.
Is that what you mean?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
In search terms, so a lot of the questions that have come up that you probably will hear is people are like, well, I was told that if you want to change a listing, you have to open up a case. And I said, well, not for the back end search terms. Amazon is happy to have you add some relevant keywords. They're a little less thrilled about having you change titles and bullets and stuff without the permission, but back-end search terms are exactly what they are. If they start using them and indexing them and they don't work, they'll start ignoring that word. But like here, like this is a zip ID card case. It has a little zip coin case in it. So zip is not in the listing, but it's a keyword that the competitive listings have. So, yep, we'll have zip and it'll start indexing on zip. And the next time I run this, it may give me another level up of keywords. I don't think on this one. I think this was probably pretty accurate, but
Yeah, I was fascinated because I have one replen that's been like really, really good to me. And the first batch of keywords, they were good. But then I waited a week and I did it again, and I thought the second batch of keywords was even better.
Yeah, I think it just starts reorienting you to a more relevant set of competitors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the velocity of this one replen has gone up probably 30% or so. We were selling through maybe about 120 units a month, and it's I just reordered because I ran out without thinking, and I just ordered 200 units. I think we're going to go through that no problem in a month.
Yeah, that's what I've been seeing. It's like some of the stuff I'm like, I order it, and I'm like 2 days later, I'm like, we do a lot of bundles, so I have to order the components, and a lot of times like, I should have ordered more, and I'm always trying to order that free shipping level. I'm like, well, it's not really that hard of a problem anymore to get to the free shipping level, so that's pretty good. But
yeah. So we've got a couple of questions, and the first one is, so this will work for any kind of listing, like a bundle, which you just mentioned, and OA, RA, wholesale items where the listing already existed on Amazon, right?
Yes. So where I've seen less, where I've seen results that aren't as good is usually on a private label product, because realistically, if you have a private label product, it's probably pretty well optimized.
Mm-hmm.
Like you didn't miss, let's say you have a hospital gift. You probably didn't miss the word hospital, and you probably didn't get well. You probably didn't miss that word. And again, so when we've run it against some private label, we had somebody test it that was all private label. She goes, the keywords are kind of bad. And I'm like, that means your listings are kind of good.
Yeah.
because you've captured everything. My frustration, and I'll say this sometimes when I speak, people are like, well, is it too late to start selling on Amazon? I'm like, have you seen how bad the listings are?
Right.
It's wide open. It's just like the listings that wholesale manufacturers made are terrible. They're usually just size and weight. There's nothing in it meaningful to the product.
Hmm.
No use cases or any emotion. The stuff that RA sellers do, okay. Um, they do the bare minimum to get it, like, hey, this has got a brand name, let's get it going. And, and it's getting harder and harder to fix them too. We've been trying to get a brand name changed on one of our replens, and I'm like, can you change it? Oh no. I'm like, I'm showing you a close up on the back of the product that has the brand name, and somebody did something to keep it to themselves. I'm like, and I can't parent child it. I can sell it, but I can't parent child it, and it's like the most popular color, so it's kind of frustrating.
Ah, that is irritating. So one person is curious, how many keywords on the back end can be listed for a product?
249
249
characters.
characters.
Characters,
Yeah.
which is so when we're figuring out what words to use, we're looking at all the words, sorting them in strength order, and then going and look at your listing, take out the ones that are already there. So like you had shower gel, and we're going to add body wash. And then by doing this sort mechanism, we're sort of keeping some of the weird stuff out of it. So there also might be Ayurvedic or I can't even think of something like botanical. It might be some really strange word, but it'll be at the tail end because with only 249 characters, you want to get the most relevant terms that you can.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm sure there's a good reason for the 249 characters, but it does limit you.
Yeah. I think they
Uh,
just can't. There's so many products that they can't. Like if you have 5,000 characters, I don't know how many words that would be. Let's say maybe the average word is 5, 6 letters. That's a lot of words to go, you know, body and wash, gel and wash, shower and wash. It's a lot of permutations.
mhm.
And I think Amazon's like, all right, you guys got to be more concise because it's taken forever for us to work our way through all these words, and a lot of them are junk,
Absolutely, absolutely.
super long tail.
The Archaean on YouTube, he's curious. The 100 SKU plan, does that mean 100 listings that you can submit the keywords on in a month? Or
Yes, it
okay.
it doesn't mean that like if you have 500 listings, um, if you wouldn't if you had 500 listings, you don't have to get the 500 SKU plan. You can do the 100 SKU plan.
Hmm.
And what we tell people is like, let's say you have 1,000 SKUs. I would say you get the first month the 1,000 SKU plan, and then the second month drop down to a little bit more than what you add every week. So if you add 100 listings every week, 500 would be good because then you can do some maintenance work on stuff that you've already keyword and go back and do again. You can do the ones that you add every week, and they're going to take a little while if they're new and you're making brand new listings to sort of get competitors and get a little bit of rank. So yeah, that's what we try to do. So you got to
Yeah,
figure out how you're going to use it, and then go from there.
right. The way I understand it is like, let's say I have the $29 a month plan. If I have 50 listings, I would be able to do the 50 listings, and then I'd be able to wait 2 weeks and do it again, and then that would eat up my 100
Yeah,
credits. Yeah,
pretty much.
yeah. Let's see here. And so Jerry is curious, what about keywords in the title and bullets? There's not a lot you can really do with that with EZKey, right?
I mean, as far as putting them into the title and bullets?
Yeah, yeah. And this,
No, no, yeah. We are comparing the title and bullets to, your content. We're using that content to compare to competitors, but we don't go fix that. In fact, I don't even know how you could do that because you have to ask permission every time you do it.
yeah, got to get the catalog team I mean,
Hmm.
if you can. Let's see here. Oh, Jenna is curious. She may have missed it. She's wondering if this would work with brand new listings.
Um, what we found, if it's a brand new listing, it takes a little while for it to sort of percolate. So, like I have a couple that they are unable to keyword them. but I'll try them in a week or two and they'll be keyworded. So, because what Amazon's doing in the back with a brand new listing is saying, okay, I don't know what this is. You gave me some information and now I'm going to go test it. So again, back to my shower gel example, you told me it was grapefruit shower gel. I'm going to go test it with some words and see if anybody looking for grapefruit shower gel clicks on yours and buys it.
Mm-hmm.
And if it comes up and they were looking for grapefruit fruit, then it's, that's what Amazon's doing in the back with the algorithm, is trying to get the computer to understand what it is. You and I know what grapefruit shower gel is, but a computer doesn't understand that. It needs to have relevance and points of reference to kind of understand, and that's what the algorithm does. So
Right.
initially, no, but over time, you'll run that and you'll get a set of keywords, and you wait a little bit more and you'll get a better set down the road.
Okay. Yeah, that's fascinating. Now I will, and guys, if you have any questions, make sure to pop them in there. I don't want to say that like this is super easy software, because it does something really powerful in my opinion, but it's really easy to use. So it's not like there's some, I mean, I do Tactical Tuesdays, and we've gone for 10 weeks talking everything tactical arbitrage and online arbitrage, but this kind of does one job and does it really good. And one of the things, so I tried as much as I could to figure out, well, if I start using this, how will I measure its effectiveness? And I thought, well, okay, I could measure the increases in my sales velocity, but I'm also getting to the point where some of my SKUs start increasing anyway, just because of the time of year it is. So I thought, well, maybe the numbers would be a little wrong. Um, but then I figured, well, I should track my ad spend, because I run ad spend on all of my OA and RA products, and I run cheap pay per click, and I only do like 15 to 17 cents maximum bid, and I'll spend like $15 a day or so. But I started using EZKey on the like 26th or 27th of August, and then I go about once a week and I update everything. And last month, the prior 30 days to the 26th, I was running at $9.51 per day in ad spend. And it was profitable ad spend, thank goodness, but it was $9.51 per day. And since the 26th or the 27th, I've actually gotten that down to $3.32 per day. And my sales velocity hasn't gone down. It's actually increased, and my number of SKUs has not changed greatly. So the only variable I have is using EZKey, because my my repricer plan hasn't changed. My repricer is just set it and forget it, and this is really the only thing I've changed. So from my side of things, it's working, and it's working really well. Let's see
Yeah,
here.
that was pretty amazing.
Let's see. Is this different from merchant words? This is from Tiff. I always am worried I'm going to screw this name up. I don't know if it's Tiffany or Tiffiany, because I know it's spelled a little bit different, but is this different from merchant words? I'm getting into wholesale bundles. I create the listing and need something for the keywords.
So this is again, maybe in the beginning, this is sort of evolved out of my using keyword tools. I've been doing this, I've been selling for a long time. I've used merchant words, I've used scope, I've used Helium 10, and the process that I went through with that, again, if you're making a listing, I would advise you to make a good a listing as you possibly can, because it's one of the few times you get to do whatever you want without Amazon telling you to go talk to the brand owner.
Mm-hmm.
And it's different in that merchant words, you're the software engine, right? So you're going to go in and you're going to pick the words, and you're going to be the human being that decides whether it's shower gel, body wash, or bubble bath.
Mm-hmm.
What we're doing is, after you've done that listing, a few weeks later, you might go in and run our software to see if you missed anything. Because again, you're one human being, and you're looking at a product in a certain way, where your competitors are doing the same from their perspective. So, like, I was trying to find a very quick, maybe call it quick and dirty way to find more words without, spending hours and hours and hours building a listing.
Hmm.
Um, we do build listings, and when I do that, we do a great job, because usually when we do that, it's an investment in the future, because usually with the listings we're making, we see some strategic value in them. But with my RA and OA, I'm usually just adding on to what people have already done. So it's a rare moment that I want to go in and fix their listing because I've got to open cases, or I've got to go talk to brand owners, or Amazon wants, 6 different points of reference, whatever it is. It's just like, ugh, and it's getting harder and harder to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely it is. Yeah, they're becoming more and more sticklers, and they're, I mean, they're telling us, they're letting us know they're trying to make changes to the catalog. I get it. The catalog is it's disgusting, for lack of a better term, and needs to get cleaned up. But something like this, I think is kind of a no-brainer. Um, oh, the Archaean asked, how much is the discount? So Barbara did hook us up with a 15% off discount. You just have to use code CTSEZ15 when you check out, and I've dropped the link below in the video description, and then I also popped it in the chat, guys, if you want to try this out. I have been happy with it. I've never. I mean, I've used merchant words in the past, and other keywording tools, but it didn't fit my business model, because I do OA, I do RA. We do a little wholesale, not very much. But this makes it nice and simple. I don't have to think about anything, and I do think it works. I've seen it, make some changes to my own account, so I'm pretty happy with it.
Good.
Oh, and I do have to add, that 15% discount, is that the first month? Is that forever?
It's forever.
Forever. Nice. So 15% discount forever on any plan you choose. I would at least give it a shot. The cost is pretty low compared to what it can do for you. And any other questions before we wrap it up? Like I said, it's not a difficult software to use, and it does some cool things. So want to make sure we get everybody's questions answered, and then we'll kind of call it a night. All right, I think that might. Oh, yes, absolutely. Thank you for reminding me. Yeah, okay. So, guys, do give it a shot. Hit that like button, and hit the subscribe button for me. If you guys have any questions, of course, make sure to leave them. I can always ask Barbara at a later time, and we'll probably do this again. I know she's got some pretty cool features coming out. Um, Maybe after Q4, and I'm not sure exactly why I doubled up on the screen here, so sorry, guys. But go give this a shot, and if you have any questions, feel free to shoot me a message, drop a comment below, and I will make sure to get answers for you guys. I appreciate you being here, and yeah, Barbara, any parting words before we head out?
No, thank you very much. I hope this helps people and get some more sales. So that was the whole idea.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Thanks for being here, and thank you for being here, everybody. Again, one last time, make sure to hit that like button, hit the subscribe, and the little bell. And I will keep this kind of content coming, and trying to help you guys as much as possible. So have a great night, and I will see you guys next week.